The Lost Son. There once was a family living happily together. Well, not really. The father, Bob, struggled to keep his relationship with his son, Ralphie. The mother had died during childbirth, though there was another son who did all the chores and helped the father, who was called Meta. Ralphie was a rough guy, sold drugs, and was addicted to cigarettes. Although he was only 17 years old, he bled his father's wallet dry. He bought protein, cigarettes, gym membership, alcohol, junk food. On top of this, if the father did not give him the money, he would run away from him and not come back for a day. Bob did not want that to happen. Bob was getting poorer and poorer. To make matters worse, he lost his job. Despite this, Bob and Meta still lived happily until Ralphie was sick of the family and asked Bob for exactly half of the money he had right now. Bob briskly gave him $900 from his pocket. Ralphie left, without saying another word. Ralphie led a wilder life here. He bought a dodgy house in a dodgy suburb. He squandered his money on gambling and junk food. He started spending $50 for clubbing every night. All of a sudden, one morning, Ralphie realized he only had $150 left. No money. That $150 was the money he owed the landlord. Things became worse when Ralphie got caught by the police. He was speeding through the city with a hijacked car when the police pulled him over. I know speed. Meh. Only $900. According to the speed camera, he was going at 210. When Bob heard the news, he was torn apart. His son was wasting his money, and now he owed the police an $880 fine, and Bob only had $900. Meanwhile, Ralphie thought $880 was a small amount, so he spent that $150 on junk food and movies. From all this junk food and lack of exercise, he was not strong anymore. Bob decided it was best to pay the fine. He walked to the police station, melancholy. Tears stung in his eyes as he felt sorry for Meta, who was so innocent. He wondered what would be the future of the family. He walked in and looked around the station. 30 meters ahead was a counter. He walked slowly through, oblivious of the fact that he was walking through the cells. He looked to the right, where he saw "Feed me, dummy." Bob looked at the panda confused, as well as being scared. He opened his mouth to scream, but nothing came out. He kept running through the hallway until he reached the counter. Bob ran to the counter and told his name to the officer in charge. The officer cast his eyes to the money, tapping his foot in anticipation. Bob gave the money to the officer and ran off towards the door when "Do you want to play hide and seek?" Bob got out of the station and walked home. Ralphie was due to come home tomorrow. Bob told Meta the good news and went to sleep early, ready for the coming of Ralphie. The next morning, Bob was woken up by a bell. Excitedly, he ran downstairs and opened the door. In came a skinny, bald boy with a criminal suit on. He had a look of sadness on his face. He went down on his knee and cried, "Forgive me, Father, for everything I have done. Make me your eternal servant/minion." Bob jumped in joy and invited everyone over for pizza, which he bought with his last $20. Meta came up to his dad in the party and asked, "How come you celebrate Ralphie coming back? And you never spent a single cent on me, but you spent many dollars on Ralph, who is troublesome." The father said, "But we have to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. They all lived happily." Well, not really. Bob had to find another job, but that's another story.
created using Powtoon.